Mag Bam Truth on. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, people, we in trouble. With everything that's going on right now, the deception of the world right now, we in trouble. Now, we go get into the so-called statin right here that they're going to prescribe to the so-called people in the UK. You know, the NHS basically want to prescribe this for them, the statin. Sound like Satan to me. But they claim that they want to do that so the people stop having heart attacks and them things. Remember, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, all of these things, they say the statin can basically solve. We go get into that, and we go talk about also the juice. Let's get into it and break it down. There's a lot to break down in this video. Make it run.
Millions more people in England could be prescribed daily cholesterol-lowering statin pills to cut their risk of a heart attack or stroke.
So you understand what they're saying? They're going to use this statin to cut down your cholesterol level so you won't have heart attack and stroke. Remember, I already told you about medication. First of all, what you need to understand is a chemical reaction in your body that trigger off these things. Remember, all of these things caused by the food that you eat in those chemical food. That's what it is. And then you're going to prescribe statin, a highly chemical material again, to put in your body. A dose of chemical every single day to counteract a chemical reaction. That's not going to work. Chemical can't solve the problem because this chemical is the problem. Bam!
Price for the NHS. The National Institute for Health and Care Excellence says the cheap price of tablets and the possible health gains mean they should be considered more often.
You hear that?
In England,
the tablet is cheap. You hear that, people? Pay attention here. The tablets is cheap, so the people need to get on it. Listen.
The possible health gains mean they should be considered more often. In England, high cholesterol leads to around 7% of all deaths.
You hear that, people? High cholesterol connected to 7% of all deaths. High cholesterol, people. What do you think cause it? So, don't worry about what they're saying out their mouth. Look at their action. That's all I'm saying. They're saying some shit to sound like they come into your defense or something that they can put some order to. They're the one who doing it to you. The food that, remember, we don't put the food together. We don't make the food. The food is already made and you go pick it up. They have these things that they're talking about, even something like you would have called like Jenny Craig, something like that. Even though they have a lot more like it, similar, where they send these food to your door. Frozen food at your door. Oh, you can eat ice cream and cake and cookies, and we go send you pastas and all of these things. Frozen. What you think? Highly processed food with dangerous chemical in it that gonna give you diabetes, high blood pressure and everything else.
Dr. Asim Malhotra. He is a consultant cardiologist and specializes in statins. Thank you for joining us this morning, Doctor. So good morning. In terms of what NICE are saying, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I have great respect for NICE, but I think in this regard with statins, I think this guidance is misguided. And the reason I say that, Lugwesa, is something I've managed thousands of people with heart disease in my career, prescribed statins, particularly to high-risk people. And I just want to...
Yes, so he prescribed statin, but he said to high-risk people. But what you have to understand, people, even though he one of the professional when it comes down to this kind of subject, listen what he go tell you about the statin, because he know within himself that this right here is trouble. He know already. He know once you start taking them pills every day, you're going to have problems. The chemical reaction going to show up in another sickness. Do you understand?
Emphasize that people who've had a heart attack or high risk, that's where we see the greatest benefits of statins. But in this guidance, this basically applies to people who have a less than 10% risk. And if you have a less than 20% risk of having a heart attack or stroke in the next 10 years, the one thing that we always tell patients when I prescribe statins or discuss it with them is that there is, first of all, no what we call mortality benefit. They're not going to live any longer over a 5-year period.
Okay.
And that the absolute benefits for them is about 1%, 1 in 100 in preventing a non-fatal heart attack or stroke.
So that means it's a waste of time. That's all it is. It's a waste of time, supposedly, when it comes to solve the problem that you have. You can't stop no damn heart attack. He might give you one. That's what you need to understand because of those chemical imbalance.
That informed decision-making needs to be part of the process in discussion with patients and then help the patient make a decision themselves. In my own experience, Lakwesa, when most patients are told this information, they actually say, Doc, to be honest, I don't really fancy those odds. Is there anything else I can do? And of course, the big issue really that's ongoing, which has been going on for years in this country, is that we've not been addressing unhealthy lifestyles, or certainly being effective in curbing unhealthy lifestyles.
Because they don't want that. Once they mention that, they're getting a backfire on them. Do you understand what I mean? Once they start mentioning the food and them things, they know already. We don't make the food. They did. They're the one who's serving you them shits up in the box and say juice. They're the one who's serving you bottled waters. They're the one who's feeding you. The fast food that they publish and they put all these people on to convince you to go eat it. That's what the problem is. So when they talk about it, they can't mention those natural ways. Stop eating those food and get some exercise. They can't tell you that. That's going against what they're pushing.
Big problem with the obesity epidemic. And when you look at heart disease, my own research has found this, is that the best way to prevent heart disease and even manage people with heart disease, whether or not they choose to take a statin, is actually through lifestyle changes. So what does that mean in simple terms? It means cutting out ultra-processed foods, which is now half of the British diet. So foods are coming out in a packet that are full of...
You hear that, people? He mentioned it. Half of the English food basically come frozen in a package. And that's big part of the problem. You see, once they have that, 50% of the food coming to that processed food, you already know. All the people going to be fat, overweight, diabetes, all of these things. That's what those food carry.
Unhealthy oils, carbohydrates, sugar, for example. Eating real food, basically. Moderate exercise, at least 30 minutes brisk walk a day. And also the other big sort of elephant in the room is stress reduction. Now, on top of that, Lakwesa, one of the reasons I think this is...
He mentioned stress reduction. Yes, because stress also could put that pressure on your body. Blood pressure and everything. You understand? Yes, and the world today is stressful. That's why they're doing it. Basically to, put your back against the wall in these times. That's what they do so you can comply.
To the news just now is obviously there's been a big concern recently around excess deaths. Now, the British Heart Foundation have said, certainly during the pandemic or since the pandemic, there's been 30,000 excess deaths specifically due to coronary artery disease.
Listen, people. You listen what they say. Since the supposed pandemic, you hear what he said. The increase is by 30%. With people dying from those so-called heart problems. Let's go back.
Been 30,000 excess deaths.
Hold on.
Certainly during the pandemic or since the pandemic, there's been 30,000 excess deaths specifically due to coronary artery disease. That's my area of expertise.
Yes.
And they're trying to figure out what's causing it.
Oh,
Chris
Whitty. They're trying to figure it out. What's new on the table? Remember, people, listen to me. Remember, they talk about the bug that caused the pandemic. Mention it all the time. The bug that they say caused the pandemic does not give you heart problem. It don't give you heart attack. It don't give you cardiac arrest. It don't give you blood stoppage. None of that, supposedly. They was worrying about breathing. So they can't flip it on me. I'm not dumb. So where is this new thing come from? Where is this new heart attack, cardiac arrest, and all these blood stoppage come from? Is the damn juice. You in denial? Nobody that take the juice not gonna understand this. None of them gonna admit it. Point blank, period. The reason why is because it's not a normal, regular juice. It's not normal. It's not what you think. It is the mark of the beast. 100% the control of mankind they got in that juice. That's the reason why they're taking it so serious. That's the reason why they have to have you to take it. You have to get it by any means necessary. It don't matter how much people it damage, they can't call it out. It don't matter how much people it kill, they can't call it out. And because it's the mark of the beast, the people who have it, they will never see what's happening. They will never come to terms that, listen, this is what causes it. All this terrible cough that I'm having, I didn't have it before. All these things that I'm having, you don't realize that? They can't, people, because they've been altered with the mark of the beast. That's what it is. That's why they can't admit it. Even if somebody just take it and they got knocked down. No, it's not it. No, it's something else. I've been going through this for a long time. They will try any ways to hid it. They can't admit it because it's the control of mankind. It already take them over.
Recently suggested that it could be because people won't prescribe statins or blood pressure pills. But Carl Hennigan, that unfortunately, I've got respect for Chris Whitty, but I think he's mistaken here because analysis I've done, and even Carl Hennigan, the director of Centre for Evidence-Based Medicine, Oxford, suggests that statin pills prescription hasn't reduced since the pandemic. So it's unlikely to be a cause. But what is almost certainly, if you allow me to say this,
you hear what he say? If you allow me to say this. If you want to be real, you're not allowed to say it. Listen to what he going to say, people. And he know already. He know already that he crossing uncharted water right here. Listen to him.
Statin pills prescription hasn't reduced since the pandemic. So it's unlikely to be a cause. But what is almost certainly, if you allow me to say this, so what my own research has found, and this is something that is probably a likely contributory factor, is that the COVID mRNA vaccines do carry a cardiovascular risk.
Bam. You hear that? But they have to say it slightly, people. The way they talk and the way they bring it in, it can be so-called alarming. It can't hit you in the head where you'll be like, hold on here. So they're serving that shit up and it's doing all this blood stoppage and all these heart problem, all these might die, this shit start popping up. Pay attention here, people. Of course it's a vaccine. It is. Pay attention.
Is that the COVID mRNA vaccines do carry a cardiovascular risk. And I've actually called for the suspension of this pending an inquiry because there's a lot of uncertainty at the moment about...
They're not gonna put they're not suspending the mark of the beast, dude. That's what I try to tell you. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter what you say out your mouth. It don't matter what plea you make. It don't matter. Your family member drop dead as soon as they get it, but they don't care. They're not gonna take your word, like I say, because it is the beast system, the mark.
What's causing the excess deaths? Some of it will be ambulance delays. My own inquiry, because there's a lot of uncertainty at the moment about what's causing the excess deaths. Some of it will be ambulance delays. My own.
This is why I can't trust none of these fuckers that show up on TV. You're saying all these people dying is because of ambulance delayed? No, people, it's bullshit. Why they need the ambulance to begin with? That's what we're taxing here. You talking about the ambulance late. Ambulance late for what? What happened to him? Let's go back.
Cardiovascular risk. And I've actually called for the suspension of this pending an inquiry because there's a lot of uncertainty at the moment about what's causing the excess deaths. Some of it will be ambulance delays. My own father... It was reported on BBC News in late 2021. I was the first to actually highlight the ambulance delays because my own father suffered a cardiac arrest at home.
Yeah, that cardiac
and the ambulance took 30 minutes. And when his post-mortem came out, he had very severe coronary artery disease, which was unexplainable. I then published in a peer-reviewed journal. They accepted my findings that the likely cause of his death was 2 doses of the Pfizer mRNA vaccine he had 6 months earlier.
Bam, people. Hold on here. Hold on. So hold on, people. So you see how they cover, even him telling the story and kind of burying it a little bit. He want to mention that the ambulance take 30 minutes. He trying to say it was the ambulance late that caused his dad die. And then he just say, yeah, it's a 2 shot that he take. Go back again. Go back.
They accepted my findings that the likely cause of his death was 2 doses of the Pfizer mRNA vaccine he had 6 months earlier. So
he got 6 months earlier, and you see, right away, the host of this fucking show right here have to kick in. Do you see what just happened? Let's go back. You can't mention those things on TV, dude. Listen.
Death was 2 doses of the Pfizer mRNA vaccine he had 6 months earlier. So
let him talk. Let him talk. What happened? Why you can't finish talking? You see that right there, people? You can't say those things on TV. It's not because it's a regular juice. It's because it's the mark. That's why you can't say it. You don't understand here, people. The reason why they can't challenge this shit is because it's the mark of the beast. You've never seen this shit in your life. Never.
findings that the likely cause of his death was 2 doses of the Pfizer mRNA vaccine he had 6 months earlier. So there's lots of... I'm
sorry, I just want to jump in on that
why
point.
You want to jump in?
So what you're saying in terms of the mRNA link to cardiovascular risk...
You see, you're fumbling after you're holding the devil horns right there. You're fumbling. The man tell you what he's saying already. He killed his dad. Listen.
That is it's been proven medically in terms of the mRNA link to cardiovascular risk.
Hold on here, man. Hold on. Go back, people.
I just want to jump in
Let's
that point.
Let's see something, people. Why is this smirk on his face right here? I don't understand.
You're saying in terms of the mRNA link to cardiovascular risk, is that is it's been proven medically, has it? Scientifically?
Yeah, Professor. So in medicine, in any research that we do, it's very difficult to always be absolutely conclusive. So we go on
So they can be absolutely conclusive that the vaccine worked before and put it out, the FDA. Okay, let's listen.
And there are lots of data now. The highest quality data is what we call randomized controlled trial evidence. So there was a reanalysis in the journal Vaccine published recently where they found that the original trials of Pfizer and Moderna with mRNA vaccines showed, and I just want to put this in absolute terms because we don't want to scare
recently,
where they found that the original trials of Pfizer and Moderna with mRNA vaccines showed, and I just want to put this in absolute terms.
Man, you should just tell us, dude. Why you fumbling, man? Why you fumbling to tell us what the fucking study was? They did not study shit. They did not study nothing, people. Why you think it just fast come on the table right quick? You think they did some study on it? You think some study can do that quick? I'm asking you a question. You do a study for 5 months? 10 months? So how you going to know what happened in a year if you only do this study for 10 months? You can't know, people. They didn't never do no damn study. It's just them. They own the whole thing. The mark of the beast system.
But the absolute risk of serious adverse events was at least 1 in 800.
You see, that's what they like to say, those kind of things. That's why you see the news reporter say, yes, okay, that sound more like what we put out. Yes, so when you say that, it sound like, 1 in every 800 die from some kind of blood problem. It's all right. Still plug them up. You don't get it, people. They have to tell you like that to make you seem like it's not that bad. It's just a coin in a bucket. You don't understand. This is a wicked shit that's going on. That's what I tell you now. You see it now. Cardiac arrest is the number one thing on the table. It's in style now. It's a trend. Cardiac arrest is in style. So you're going to see it. You're going to see them come on. You're going to see people die from it. They're going to show you people die from it. They're going to show you them resuscitating people, trying to get them back alive, get paused. All of these shits, put it on the table because these is the time.
And a lot of those are cardiovascular. And then you were more likely in those trials to suffer a serious adverse event than to be hospitalized with COVID early on.
All right.
The vaccine is 100.
Okay.
And a lot of those are cardiovascular.
Go back.
Put this in absolute terms, because we don't want to scare people unnecessarily.
We don't want to scare them.
But the absolute risk of serious adverse events was at least 1 in 800.
Okay.
And a lot of those are cardiovascular. And then you were more likely in those trials to suffer a serious adverse event than to be hospitalized with COVID early on. And I think the vaccine has certainly helped people who are high risk. But now...
It's bullshit, people. That shit that they're plugging you up with never proved to work. The only thing that it do, trigger off something else in you. You trigger off all these myocarditis, all of these things in the masses, and you can't open your mouth. That tell you something. Why you think this video gonna get deleted from YouTube? Because I'm 100% on the money. They can't let these things go out. They can't let it get out, people, that they actually poisoning the masses and tell you they come to save you. The biggest order of the chaos they have for the masses right now. And like I say, it's going to lead you to the end times because they're serving up the mark. I'm on the run. Bam.